So here we go again. This is round 2 of this song. What I'm going to be doing in this episode is the drums and making sure the song's a little bit more fleshed out, and building the blocks to make the song bigger and moving on progress and blah blah blah, so on and so forth. This first bit, I'm going to do a lot less talk in this series. So this first bit is going to be drums and putting the drums together. It's nothing new to what you've seen before and how I make the kits. It's all separation of samples and EQing different samples and mixing. So yeah, here's that, and I'll join you after. So I'm just going to quickly dip into this bit here, which is a bit about reverb. So you'll do a bus, any bus you want, on any track, whatever you want reverb added to, and then on that bus you'll do reverb and title it reverb for help. And basically you'll do a whole wet signal of reverb. You can use one of the preset reverbs or make your own sound of reverb, whatever you want, whatever sounds best. I just usually go for plates or anything like that, and then full wet signal and use the bus to show the amount of reverb. So this is going to be the part of the song where I started to add sidechain or ducking. So what happens here is the lower frequencies will clash or tend to clash with the kicks and the kits of the song. So what you want to do is you want that to duck or sidechain underneath those areas. So what I'll do is I'll make a whole separate track and call it sidechain or something like that, and I'll put a load of kicks on there, and then I'll take the stereo output to none and then bus that to an area and take that to stereo output none as well. It's all evident in the bottom of the screen there where you can see the mix. And then what happens is the sound's still going through, so the computer registers the sound, but there's no sound playing because there's no output set. So all you'll do is anything you want to chain under that sound is you'll add a compressor, and in the top right of the compressor there's a sidechain option. You'll change that option to wherever you've bussed it. So if it's bus 2, you will sidechain to bus 2. And then you'll change the knee and the ratio and everything else in the compressor. And don't use the normal compressor for Logic because it's useless. So do all of everything that you need to do there. Change all the compression settings and all the ratio and the gain and everything like that. And then you'll start to hear it duck underneath. So you'll change sidechain to whichever bus you need, and then you'll just fiddle with the settings until you get it right. There you go, that's as in-depth as it needs to be. And because you've bussed it, you can then add that compressor or copy and paste that compressor to any other track in the song. So for example, I've got the low chords and the bass, so all I do is copy and paste that compressor to the bass as well, and they both sidechain at the same rate. So here's how that sounds. So you should be able to hear there that the side chaining is working, and the lower notes are ducking under the kick, which is what you want. That is side chaining, and yeah, I moved on to hi-hats and cymbals. Now this stuff is pretty loud because obviously it's not mixed in yet and the kick isn't really mixed at all. All the levels will be dropped and equalised as they need to be. But now I wanted to move on to reversing some things. So what you'll do is you'll place the track that you need, you'll bounce it and then click the function and reverse on the sound file at the bottom, and then you should start to get reverse kicks and reverse claps. After doing that, go back to your original reverb option and bust this into that reverb and add some bust to it, and then make it sound a little bit fatter. Like I said earlier, it wasn't mixed in together very well at all, it's just placed, so this is a little bit after the mixing. Same story as before, but now done to the crash and mixed again. So now I extended the original intro and just made it more of an intro and added some effects and presets to change some things, added some Vengeance drop samples and things like that, and sounds like this. So after making those changes to the intro and adding another layer to the main melody, I wanted to change up the drums a little bit more and go back to enhancing the kit. So what I did was I made a selection of cymbals and bounced them into one track, and then did some edits on that to make it sound like a few hi-hat fills, and it sounds like this. More drums. I changed the little breakdown section for the middle of the song and gave it a different pattern so it's not the same boring thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's the end of this episode. Be sure to watch the previous episode, which is the Melody Building intro episode, so how we even made it to anywhere near this style of song and so on and so forth. And then be sure to follow on to the next episode so you can hear where the song goes from here and all the changes that happen, and take some advice for yourself, give me some advice, let me know what's going on. Same usual deal. Yeah, enjoy and see you in the next one.